Wayne and Monica are in their 30s and excited about moving in together. They found a great apartment in a high-rise, a short drive from both of their workplaces. The photos online were beyond all their expectation. They haven't seen it yet, but are waiting in the lobby for the realtor at the moment. It's a big step for them to move in together. Monica is getting anxious and decides to call the realtor. "Sweetie, he said 2 o'clock, he still has 2 minutes," Wayne says assuringly. She has the realtor on the line before Wayne has finished the sentence. "Hello, Mr. Thompson," she says. "Yes, we are here. Great, thank you." She hangs up and tells Wayne, "He will be down in a few minutes to get us." Wayne gloats, "I told you not to worry. We might not even like it anyway." Monica knows Wayne is nervous and just trying to be cautious. As for her, she is more excited. "It's just such a great location for both of us," she gushes. But after 15 minutes, even Monica starts pacing. "It's fine," Wayne tells her. Monica is not happy. "What if someone else is looking at it?" she asks Wayne. He hugs her tightly. "If that happens, it wasn't meant for us." The realtor, Jack Thompson, walks up while they still have their arms around each other. "Sorry for the wait," he tells them. Wayne and Monica notice that he is sweating heavily. He looks as if he just finished a workout, although he's dressed in a dark blue suit. Monica asks him, "Is everything okay?" "Everything is good. You two ready to see the apartment?" He leads them briskly to the elevator. He practically runs down the hallway to the door of the apartment, but refuses to enter. "Oh no, I won't get in your way," he says, obviously agitated. Unusual, Monica thinks, but then so is a man who works out in a suit. They go through the apartment and everything fits them perfectly. Even though Wayne has reservations about the move, he can't find any negatives about the apartment whatsoever. They agree to sign the lease, and Jack says he'd like to show them the lounge, which is very elegant. They're not going to be swayed because they already agreed to move in, so they go along to please him and get the deal done faster. Jack is so antsy to go that they followed him. Monica and Wayne don't see Jack give a dead stare into the apartment as he shuts the door. There is something he's not telling them. While unpacking, Wayne keeps getting glimpses of shadows. Not a superstitious person, he assumes he's just not used to how the light falls in his new surroundings. But he can't completely escape the eerie feeling of being watched. Thinking it might be Monica, he tries to sneak up on her, but she's in the other room, which he discovers when she calls for assistance with a heavy box. Wayne doesn't mention his feelings and instead asks her how she's doing. He hopes that she will open up if she is having any strange feelings. Monica says, "A little tired, but couldn't be better." Wayne is also worn down, so he chalks up his paranoia to exhaustion. Monica spots a small box that she forgot to drop off in the half bath by the entrance. "Can you stick this in the bathroom by the front?" she asks, not giving him time to answer before she tosses it at him. Wayne jumps forward awkwardly to catch the box, afraid the contents are breakable. Monica laughs as he trips over a large box trying to catch the small one. "It's just the hand towels," she tells him, covering her mouth as she laughs. "How was I supposed to know?" Wayne asks, irritated. He finally steadies himself. Monica is disappointed that he thinks she would throw something which could break, or worse, hurt him. He apologizes and tells her it's been a long day. She has to agree. Most of the rooms are still filled with moving boxes. Wayne heads for the half bath at the front of the apartment. It's dark outside, and Wayne stops to admire the city lights. Their apartment is on the top floor, and the view is stunning. Then, reflected in the big terrace windows, he can see a woman in a white dress standing behind him. He turns around quickly, but no one is there. Wayne feels a sudden chill, so he turns back around to make sure the balcony doors are shut all the way. Everything is locked, so he glances around the room. When he doesn't spot anything, he looks back through the window. He shifts the box to his right hand so he can use his left hand to cover one of his eyes, trying to recreate his angle to see if the strange vision will reappear. Wayne hears a soft giggle. Startled, he spins around, raising the towel box instinctively. His nerves are tense, but after a few seconds, his body relaxes. He closes his eyes and shrugs. His shoulders feel like someone is massaging them. Monica calls, "I need your help when you get a minute." He snaps out of his reverie and backs away from the window. Shaking his head, he goes to the bathroom. He stands on his tiptoes to slip the towels into the cabinet above the toilet. Again, he feels as if being watched. It dawns on him that the apartment might have hidden cameras, and he starts rummaging through the medicine cabinet for a telltale red light. When he shuts the mirrored cabinet door, the woman in the white dress is behind him. He jumps and spins around, but she has disappeared. To him anyway, she's still visible in the mirror. Her hands reach for Wayne's neck. His goosebump-speckled skin turns warm. His state becomes dazed and relaxed. She grabs his shoulders and turns him to face her. His hypnotic stare turns to a grin as he watches her white dress fade away. Her curvy, perfect figure has him almost drooling in anticipation, and he reaches out for her hips. The sensation of her soft skin runs rampant through his mind. In a frenzy of lust, he picks her up and sets her down on the sink's ledge. She slowly smiles as she wraps her legs around his waist, knowing he is under her control. "What the hell?" shouts Monica, who has opened the door to see Wayne's bare butt thrusting toward the bathroom sink. Wayne sees Monica in the mirror and looks down at his exposed, aroused body. Dumbfounded, he turns toward her. They stare at each other in shock. Monica is waiting for an explanation. Wayne is trying to figure out some sort of excuse, but is clueless. She slams the door. He's relieved to have extra time to think of something to say to her, but still very confused. An hour after the embarrassing moment, Wayne has a hard time looking at Monica. Confused, he doesn't know what to tell her. Every time he tries to think about what transpired, his mind latches onto the erotic feeling he had with the woman in the white dress. Finally, the tension becomes too much for Monica. "Please just be honest," she pleads. "If there is someone else, tell me now. We can at least talk about it." Wayne runs excuses through his head, but they all sound bad. So he starts with, "It's not what you think." He realizes how that comes off. Desperate to derail her, he asks, "You think we should stock up on groceries?" They're calling for rain. Of course, this is even worse. Instead of hurt, she's pissed off. "Let me guess, you need more lotion for your alone time?" she cries. He should have known better than to try to divert her. They know each other too well. Wayne tries to confess. "You won't believe me," he warns. "I'm not even sure I can believe it." "Trust me," she says boldly. He takes a deep breath and checks on his do-or-die nerves. Finally, he blurts, "I think I was hypnotized by a spirit." Monica is slow to react, letting the information sink in. "You're right, it's tough to believe, but I am trying." "I'm not making it up," he swears. Monica shakes her head, trying to let herself imagine this while mumbling, "A spirit made you violate our bathroom." Hearing the words aloud just confirms how ridiculous it sounds. She needs one more confirmation from him. Wayne knows saying yes would be harder for her to believe, but he wants to be spared going into detail about the sexual encounter. "I was being controlled," he cries. She wants insight into how. The one question he can't answer. Luckily for him, he can honestly answer that he doesn't know. Wayne tells her how frightening it was to not be in control of himself, eliciting her sympathy. "I'm sure I'll never get that image out of my brain, but at least you weren't with another woman," Monica says. Wayne turns away, feigning shame. But the truth is, the image and sensation of the strange woman are still vividly in his mind. He's afraid Monica might notice high excitement, so he turns away from her. Monica, thinking he's embarrassed, tries to offer consolation. Thinking quickly, he asks, "You think we should get the apartment blessed?" This lends some validation to his story because Monica knows he's not a religious person. She begins to talk about ghost stories she's heard from friends and relatives. He doesn't really want to listen, but he stays quiet as it diverts her attention from him and warms her to the possibility of a ghost. Monica tells him she's heard of seeing things out of the corner of the eye and misplaced things in the house, none of which compare to his encounter. Wayne pretends to be listening, but he is musing about the naked ghost woman and their sexual encounter. It was so vivid and real that he can't help but wish he were back in the bathroom. After talking to Wayne for a while, Monica starts to feel that she's being watched. She moves closer to Wayne, who is still a little spacey from what is still playing in his mind. They go to bed. Both have a hard time sleeping, but manage to make it through the night without incident. Monica took a few days off from work to get the apartment set up. Wayne was planning to work from home, figuring he could help her during his breaks. Both are moving slowly and getting little done, jumpy at every noise, calling to one another to make sure the sound is accounted for. Monica is startled when her cell phone rings, but her mood drastically lifts when she learns that it's a local priest who can come by the same day to bless the apartment. She tells Wayne that she needs to run out and something to eat to offer their guest. Promising to return shortly, she bolts out the door. Wayne tries to return to work. Sitting at a small desk in the corner of the breakfast nook, he starts rolling his neck to loosen it. Suddenly, his eyes close and his body warms. Something, or rather someone, is relaxing him. He finds himself reaching down to unbutton his pants. A knock at the door makes him to jump out of his seat. He looks around, almost confused as to where he is. Bewildered, he checks to make sure he has pants on before going to the door to see who's there. He buttons his pants and shakes his head as he goes the door. When he looks through the peephole, he sees that it's the priest. Wayne invites the man in, and he introduces himself as Father Keith Chalabi. "I spoke to your wife, I believe?" Although he and Monica aren't even engaged, Wayne goes along with the statement as he doesn't want to risk the man disapproving of them, living in sin, and perhaps refusing to help them. He says that Monica will be home soon and asks about the process of the sacrament. I will bless each room individually, and by the Lord's power give you both peace in this new journey of your life, he assures Wayne. Wayne is somewhat skeptical, but he knows it will please Monica and hopefully get him off the hook for his bizarre behavior the previous night, so it's a win-win in his mind. He invites the priest to begin and tells him that he'll stay out of the way and work on his laptop. Wayne walks to the study as the priest goes into the kitchen to begin his blessing. As Father Keith enters the room, he finds a comely young woman wearing a white t-shirt and a tight miniskirt. You must be Mrs. Adams, he says as she turns toward him. You can call me Denise, she says, followed, then purrs. Father, she leans over the island counter. It's so good of you to come and help us in our hour of need. This really deserves a special reward. It's a reward in itself, he says lightly. His cheerful demeanor turns to embarrassment as he notices Denise's substantial cleavage are directly in his view. Like what the Lord gave me? She asks. Ma'am, I am here to help. Good, because I have things you can bless. The priest is at a loss for words. She stands up straight and tosses her hair back. What's that? You want me to take off my skirt? She reaches for its zipper. Father Keith throws his hands in front of his face. I didn't say anything. She smiles. No, but you were thinking it, she says in a low, seductive voice. Her skirt slips down her legs to her ankles. This is inappropriate, he says nervously. She steps out of her skirt. You better sprinkle me with some of that holy water if you really want me to stop, she says, coming towards him. Desperate to get himself out of the situation, he turns and grabs the door handle, but it won't budge. Puzzled but determined, he pivots to search for another exit. Denise whips off her tight shirt and playfully tosses it at his head. When the shirt slides off, she is face to face with him. So, Father, or would you prefer Daddy? Now panicking, the priest finds himself trapped between her and the other doorway. He doesn't want to touch her, but there's no getting around her. She places her hands on either side of the doorway, enjoying how he squirms at her close proximity. My daughter, you need help for this illness, Father Keith sputters. She blows him a kiss. His eyes close, and moments later, his discomfort melts away, and a lovely smile lights up his face. That's nice, he murmurs, now under her spell. It gets better, she tells him, kneeling down in front of him. Wayne hears voices in the kitchen. Is everything okay? He calls. When the priest doesn't reply, Wayne gets up to check on him. The doorknob is jittering, and Wayne hesitates to touch it. As he summons the courage to grab at door, Monica comes in the front, startling him. The priest is here, he informs her. Monica says, Oh, good, looking around for him. Wayne grabs one of the grocery bags from her arms. Father Keith is in the kitchen. Oh, should we not go in? Monica wonders. Well, I don't think God minds if we put away groceries, Wayne jokes, trying to dispel the tension. On the other side of the door, heavy beads of sweat stand out on Father Keith's brow. He's leaning against the door, trying to pull himself together. Pulling up his pants, he makes an excuse that he is doing delegate work to give him a few more moments. Monica and Wayne look at him expectantly as he comes out of the kitchen. He looks run down and a mess. Hello, Father. I'm Monica. We spoke earlier. He regards her with an absent look on his face, as if he has no idea what she means. I'll just slip by you and put these away, she says awkwardly. No, I mean not yet. You, need to wait. Why? Will it disturb the blessing or something? You just need to cooperate so I can move all the bad energy out of the apartment, he stammers. Monica is no more religious than Wayne, but she doesn't argue. The priest asks to be shown the rest of the apartment. Wayne and Monica set the groceries down on the dining room table, and Monica leads him down the hallway. So you do sense an energy here? Are you sure you can exercise it or whatever? Dodging the question completely, Father Keith asks, What prompted you to call me? Wayne immediately gets uncomfortable. They didn't discuss how to answer that. He isn't sure if Monica will divulge the reason they called the priest, and he's horrified she'll go into detail about how she found him in the bathroom. The few moments she glanced at him and hesitated felt like hours. Just something odd that happened. I got very nervous. Isn't that right, honey? Wayne practically yells, Yes! Father Keith is about to inquire who was in the kitchen when he entered. However, his thoughts are completely derailed by her face peeking down the hallway at him, winking behind Monica and Wayne. And it's just the two of you in the apartment? Yes, that's right, Wayne confirms. Father Keith is having trouble piecing together the puzzle of Denise. He realizes that this couple has a big problem, but he's also second-guessing himself because Father Keith has never met someone so real as Denise. If she was even real, he thinks to himself. He's suddenly struck by the uncontrollable urge to touch himself.